In this video, we will discuss the order of operations, but as you can see, the problems involve fractions. All right, let's start. Number one, this has a fraction 5/8 raised to a second power, and hope you remember when a fraction is raised to an exponent, then each numerator and the denominator will be raised to the same exponent. So this is simply 25 over 64, and that's it for this problem. Pretty simple, but as you can see, the problems are progressively getting harder. Okay, number two, similar, but the fraction inside the parentheses is now negative. So this is simply negative 2 over 7 times negative 2 over 7. And I hope you remember when you multiply two negatives, you get a positive. So here the negative will disappear, and simply that will be 2 squared over 7 squared, or 4 over 49. That will be the answer for this problem. And number three, we have a problem that is very similar to number two, except now the exponent is 3 or cubed. And I want you to see the difference when you square a negative or when you cube a negative. So here we have a negative 2/7 multiplied 3 times here. And if you multiply negative times a negative times a negative, you end up with a negative. So here the answer will be simply a negative of 2 cubed over 7 cubed. And that will turn out to be negative 2 cubed is 8. 7 cubed is 343. So that will be the answer. So please take a look at the results of problems 2 and 3. Problem 2, you lost your negative, because when you square a negative, you end up with positive. Problem 3, you retained your negative, because if you cube a negative, you still end up with a negative. Okay, problem number 4. We have a fairly high exponent, the 4th power and the 5th power. And let me write this one as the first one should be 4 to the 4th power over 5 to the 4th power, multiply by, and the second fraction is a negative raised to odd exponent, so we will retain negative. So it should be negative 5 to the 5th power and 8 to the 5th power. Okay, and what we can see here is that the 5's can cancel out, or at least part of the 5's can cancel out. For in the 8, you cannot, but 8 can be written as 2 times 4. So 8 to the 5th power is actually 2 to the 5th times 4 to the 5th. It's the same thing. Okay, so I'm going to rewrite that problem. Hang on, let me draw a line here. As 4 to the 4th power, 5 to the 4th power times negative 5 to the 5th power, and 2 to the 5th power times 4 to the 5th power. Okay, so what's happening here is that 4 to the 4th power will cancel out 4 to the 5th power, but we have 1 4 remaining. And hope you can follow that. 4 to the 4th power, you have 4 4's multiplying, and 4 to the 5th power, you have 5 4's multiplying, and all will cancel out except 1 4 remaining on the denominator. And similar thing will happen to the 5's. All of 5 to the 4th power will disappear, and here we have 1 5 remaining. Okay, looks a little ugly here, so let me clean this up. So what we have left at the top, everything is gone. 4 to the 4th power, all we have left is just negative 5. In the denominator, we have 2 to the 5th power remaining times 4. All right, so what does that equal to? We have negative 5. 2 to the 5th power is 32 times 4. So final result should be negative 5 over 128. All right, so that's the result for number 4. Okay, number 5 and number 6. Number 5 looks kind of intimidating. We have a fraction inside a fraction. The 2/3 plus 1/2 is actually the numerator of that big fraction. So we are going to add that first. So 2/3 plus 1/2, we need a common denominator of 6. So 2/3 will be 4/6. Half will be 3/6. Nothing changes in the bottom. And so we have 7/6 at the top over 7. And remember, fraction over a number is same as 7/6 divided by 7, which is same as 7/6 multiplied by the reciprocal of 7, which is 1/7. And of course, 7's cancel out, and we have 1/6 left. All right, so that's the result for number 5. Okay, number 6 is our longest problem. We have a fraction raised to an exponent times a kind of ugly looking fraction. We have subtraction top and bottom plus a single fraction. Okay, this definitely will need to use PEMDAS rule. And this right here, because we do have an operation at top and bottom, will be considered as grouping symbols. So this we will do first. And when we are done, this should turn into a single fraction. And then what's left is we have exponent, so that will be the second thing to do. And then multiplication, and finally the addition. So we do need to follow this order. All right. Okay, so let's begin. 1/3 squared, nothing changes. 14 minus 5 is 9. 6 minus 10 is -4. Plus just 3/4, nothing happens. And see how much cleaner the problem turned out to be just by removing that kind of middle fraction. Okay, then next is the exponent. 1/3 squared is 1/9. Okay, and 9's will cancel out, leaving me with -1/4 plus 3/4, which is nothing more than -1 plus 3, so that'll be 2/4, which will be reduced as half.